G'day everyone, I'm Dave, thank you for joining me. So today I'm going to be talking about what everybody in the world is talking about. Guess? No, anyway. ClawdBot with a W. Okay, all the hype around ClawdBot. But let's put it into perspective. I'm going to also talk about what you can do in your business and why ClawdBot should be a bit of an alarm call. It's not the be all and end all, it's not a silver bullet, but this is a very good way to show how fast these things are going. But what I want to also do is I want to step you through one of the solutions I've got. So I'll do that with Guest Chat. So that's a really good industry specific AI assistant model that you can start to see can relate to your business, even though it's for hotels. If you're in a hotel business, fantastic, take note. Now, the other thing is I have been talking for the last couple of years about how if you look at AI, and this is again what I say to the business people that I speak to, like the company owners, the business owners, is what could you do before AI that you can now do better, more productive, 10x, 50x, whatever it happens to be, and what can you do now that you could really never have done before AI? And there's some things that you could just never have done before AI, some that you could have done but would have taken 6 months instead of 6 hours. So again, it all sort of goes back to productivity and it goes back to understanding AI. So I want to quickly show an interview. This was Sam Altman, this was from about two days ago, talking to a group of people who are doing questions and answers basically about where AI is going, what it's doing. It was a very good conversation through OpenAI, but listen to what he's got to say here, because these are the key people that are making the decisions that will impact everything. So it's from the horse's mouth. It backs up exactly what you need to know. So let's go down here. I'll maximize this and we'll have a listen to what Sam's got to say.
So that's one thing. There's like a more general thing that a few of these questions have hinted at, which is the future going to be, companies don't hire many people and have a lot of AI coworkers or, some version of that? Or is it going to be that the companies that win in the future are entirely AI? Like it's a rack full of GPUs and no people. I really hope it's the former. There are a bunch of reasons why it seems like it could be something closer to the latter. But if companies don't adopt AI aggressively, if companies don't figure out how to hire people that are going to use the tools really effectively, they will eventually just be outcompeted by a fully AI company that doesn't have to have the sort of silly policies that prevent big companies from using AI or whatever. And that feels like it'll be a very destabilizing thing for society. So we've been trying to figure out how to talk about this, but I think it's because it sounds self-serving for us to say, but I think it's very important that companies adopt AI in a big way very quickly.
Thank you, Sam. I rest my case. That's straight from Sam Altman. Now, he knows what's coming because he's got access to probably the smartest AI training data, every single thing. He knows exactly the implications. Now, he can't come out and basically say, hey, the world's going into disarray if you don't understand AI. But I think he put that very eloquently, right? If you are in business, you must adapt AI. You have no choice. This isn't optional, right? So the thing is, how do you adapt to AI, right? What do you do? So logically, a lot of people, they jump on YouTube, they start looking at YouTube videos, they start, asking their friends or whatever the case may be. So the thing to be wary of about AI is there is a lot of hype around AI. There's definitely hype, and I've said it on this channel from the start. I've created products because you need a deliverable. You need something to say, hey, this is an approach to be able to get found by LLMs. This is an approach that's working to establish citations and credibility. That sort of news I believe, is valuable. A lot of hyped news isn't necessarily that valuable because people then start thinking they're missing out on, I need to have, and we'll use ClawdBot as an example, right? So just to put you in the picture, what is ClawdBot, right? ClawdBot, probably, if you're watching this channel, you've heard of Claude Code. So Claude Code, Sonnet 4.5, is the best coding model in the world by Anthropic. They have honed in on doing stuff for enterprise as opposed to business customers, or business to business, not just customers like OpenAI does, right? Now, the way this ClawdBot came into being is it's basically an AI assistant, in effect, that you can run on your own machinery, right? It's a free tool. But it's just gone crazy. People think it's the magic solution to everything in the whole lot. So what I want to do, just to give some balance, right? I want to show a couple of other YouTubers that are in the space that I watch regularly, they're very good YouTubers, just explaining ClawdBot. And then I also want to use another YouTuber that is quite a smart guy who I think pulls apart things and analyzes things very quickly. But I'm using ClawdBot. Let's imagine ClawdBot is an example of hype. It's an example of something that people will see, they will think that they've got to have it, but they rush to install it, but they don't actually understand what it does. And this is my whole point of argument, right? You need to understand the workflow of how AI can help your business. The starting point is an AI assistant. I've said it before, no brainer. You have an AI to play with. It's like getting a Lego kit, the first box of Lego. You build, I don't know, a little man or a bridge or something, right? Then you're not going to go and build the landscape of the Paris, skyline or the Manhattan skyline out of Lego blocks until you've got the basics of what it does. Oh, I can see it does this, right? So you need to scaffold your knowledge, but you need a starting point, right? So again, this is why I keep banging on about get involved with AI, start using it, then you will see and the door will open. But I'll quickly do a whip around. These are the usual suspects of people that are very, very good when it comes to commentary on AI. This is just to give you an idea of this new ClawdBot with the WD, right? Which is basically based on Claude Code. But let's have a quick listen to what the pundits have got to say, and then I can sort of put it into context of where it fits in your business. So if we, first of all, we'll go to Matthew Berman. He's very good.
This is ClawdBot, the ultimate personal AI assistant that is open source, runs locally, and can basically do everything. It is what Siri should have been. And I'm going to break down everything you need to know about it. I'm going to show you how to use it. And by the end of this video, you are also going to be beyond impressed with ClawdBot. It actually helped me researching and preparing for this video.
Okay, so there's one. He's quite good. Let's go to Wes Roth. Wes Roth again. He's talking about ClawdBot. What's he got to say?
The thing he built, ClawdBot. Now, obviously, this isn't sponsored. This is an open source project. It's hackable, meaning anybody can contribute to it, use it. It's basically free. You might have to pay for the AI frontiers, their models, their tokens, API costs, but this thing is free. If you search for it on Google Trends, it's got one of the wildest search curves that I've ever seen. It's just flat, and then it's just vertical. Like, the entire world is like, what is this thing? So in this video, let's take a look at who this person is. Who is this man? What's in it?
Okay, so we can see from Wes's reaction, he's pretty impressed. Let's go here to David Shapiro. He's another guy who's an excellent commentator. See what he's got to say about it. Move up here a little bit.
So the entire internet seems like it's losing its composure over ClawdBot, and what I wanted to do was just kind of explore what's going on. Now, I spent a little time kind of reading up on it and figuring out what is it, how does it work, and that sort of thing. So let's just start at the top. ClawdBot is a semi-autonomous personal agent that the primary difference is that it is proactive. It finds stuff to do rather than just waiting for you to give it commands. Now, this is a non-trivial problem, and it's one that I had been working on for quite a while, and I'll talk about my previous work on it.
Okay, so we can see what David Shapiro has got to say. He's given the thing. Now, Matt Wolf, very, very good AI commentator, excellent. I will let this one run a little bit further, right? And then I can explain my take on it as well. So this is worthwhile looking at. So
there's really 5 main things that make ClawdBot different from just using Claude or ChatGPT or one of these other tools that's already available. Number 1, it runs locally on your computer. Now, it will still tap into the APIs of the cloud services like Claude, like ChatGPT if you want it to, but it can also run local models directly on your computer if you want as well. With it running on your local machine, it has access to your files, your data, your app, anything you can do on your computer manually, pretty much ClawdBot is theoretically capable of doing. Number 2, you can control it from anywhere. You can use apps like Telegram and WhatsApp and Slack and message your bot from your phone, from your iPad. Anywhere you want, you can message into your bot and command it to do things and get updates back from it. Number 3, it has full system access. It can access your terminal and run things on your behalf. It can write scripts, install software for you, even modify itself. Like I said, if you can do it on a computer, well, theoretically, ClawdBot should be able to do it for you as well. Number 4, it has persistent memory, which is huge. It remembers everything across all of your sessions that you use it for. It remembers your preferences, your projects, your communication style. If there is one thing about ClawdBot that makes it most impressive over everything else, it's this persistent memory feature and the ability to go back and understand all of the history you have with it. And number 5, it is self-improving. You can ask it to create a skill, like a reusable workflow, and it can write the code, install it, and start using it for you. It is pretty crazy what the claims of what this can do are. Now, before I...
Okay, so showing you those, they are probably one of the top AI commentators around, and they're all very excited about ClawdBot. Now, just to put it into context, what it does, we are talking about an agentic workflow, an organized agentic workflow. So all of these products, right, use, in this case, Claude or whatever LLM you want to use as the brain. It's a wrapper, basically, right? But it's an autonomous wrapper. Now, when it's loaded onto your local machine, right, and you need, some reasonable hardware to run it, everyone's out buying little MacBooks as at the moment to be able to run it. But basically, or you can run it in the cloud, right? You can run it on a cloud server, but you're giving it control of your machine. Now, that is the way that things are going. Absolutely. This is probably one of the early ones. There's been others. There's been Manus, and also we know about, say, Comet, which is on your browser, which is actually a browser you download, a separate application. It can do things on your command as well. But this is the world we're working. But the clever things about this is you can use, say WhatsApp to contact your locally running AI assistant and get it to do things, right? Again, this will be a future. This is what now is the future. You will be able to do that, right? Memory is huge. Memory is massive because if it gets to know the way you like, the way you get things done, what it expects from you, it can anticipate what needs to be done. This is another great thing about AI and using a reasoning model to be able to do it. So Matt goes on to install this in an AWS cloud format, right? Now, the reason I'm using this as the example is there'll be lots of people out there going, oh, I need ClawdBot, it's AI, you know what I mean? It's the same with, oh, I need ChatGPT. It's good to be aware of what it does, and these guys are obviously very excited, and it is getting towards that way where you start to organize stuff. So, for example, if you can just talk to your AI and get it to action things, right, that is the world we go to. That is what I'm doing when I'm creating, right, these sites that basically become the central guru, the central oracle of that domain that then cites you back to LLMs, right? So you're recommended by LLMs. This is why you've got to be in that space. Someone will just say to their AI assistant, I want to go on, I'm going on holidays this weekend. I'm thinking of buying a kayak or whatever what happens to be, right? It will then come back with the answer. It goes and does all the work. This is the future. You won't be doing all the research. You're just going to ask your AI assistant. Whether that turns out to be from Anthropic, whether it turns out to be the one you're running on your own local machine, on your own server, or whatever the case may be, whether it's up in the cloud, we will all end up with our own AI assistants. The information that comes to those AI assistants will come from the wider internet, depending on who you are. If you've got 8 kids, if you've got 5 dogs, if you don't like red, whatever the preferences in their memory, they know they're not going to bring back information that you don't need. They will bring back very good, qualified information that suits you. This is where you need to be. Now, just on the ClawdBot thing, let us go to another YouTuber. Now, this guy is very good. He's very to the point. I quite like him. I think he's a very smart guy, Nick. I think Nick thinks he's a very smart guy as well. But the good thing is, have a listen to this. This is quite interesting. This is someone who actually has gone beyond the hype.
So, with everybody and their mom talking about this giant red lobster, I thought that I'd give it a whirl and see for myself why ClawdBot is supposedly the most powerful AI tool anybody has ever seen in their lives. And I really gave it a try. I mean, I went through all of the shoutouts on the Claude.bot website. I read through all of the blog posts and articles talking about how fantastic it was. They even explained it to me in plain English, apparently, which is that ClawdBot is Claude with hands, which is, the same thing that they said that Claude Code was a month ago. And what I've unfortunately come to the conclusion of is that ClawdBot sucks, actually. And and here's why. First, what is ClawdBot actually? Well, as far as I could tell, it is Opus 4.5, which is Anthropic's bleeding edge model, the one that runs Claude code for the most part, and the one that everybody has been talking about for the better part of the last 3 months, wrapped around Telegram, which is a messaging platform, which essentially allows you to send and receive SMS messages from and to a bot that you set up in the cloud without having to pass through an interface like VS Code or whatever, plus cron. For those of you that don't know, cron is basically just a way to schedule messages so that instead of you always having to initiate a conversation with, let's say, Claude Code, ClawdBot can send you a message. So just so you were all on the same page here, I got ClawdBot set up in Telegram, as mentioned, and I told it to schedule a good morning message to me.
Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm using Nick's opinion as another opinion against the hype. I'm not saying that ClawdBot's not a good thing. There will be other ClawdBots. There'll be other. This is the direction everything is moving in. But all I'm saying is, don't get caught up in the hype insofar as you don't understand what it does. Right now, this opens up, and they go on to say, look, there's a lot of security flaws. There's a lot of other issues that it opens up. But that is a perfect example of exponential growth of someone talking about ClawdBot. Now, he goes on to cover the fact that it was invented by a crypto company, in effect, to benefit this. And, there's a lot of ulterior motives around these things being done, or whatever the case may be. And the usage cost of the LLM is massive. People have come up with huge bills. So, there is no silver bullet. There is not one great app that is just going to do everything, right? You need to understand what AI does, and you need to work through your business. So, again, let's go back to one of the solutions that I've created down here, and we shall talk about guest chat, all right? And I'm using guest chat as an example, okay? So, you have to get involved with AI, right? So you need a starting point, and what I've always suggested is the starting point is your own personal AI system. If we run through the journey here of creating guest chat from ground zero, right? So imagine your business is already established and you want to create and use AI in your business, and you want to know how. Now, as I've commented before, the thing that is going to happen is productivity will go through the roof. There will be new products everywhere. Everyone can create a really good app or a really good product, right? You can go to Claude Code and think you've spun out a game. Fantastic. I've spun out an app that's going to help people do this or do that. That is fine, but it's not like, oh, here's an app that's going to work. It takes a lot of time and testing and working with AI to get a product that you can launch, right? So even though people are very excited about spinning out code and creating this and creating that, you will have lots of products created. You'll have better products created because AI helps with the research and material science, all this stuff. So what I'm saying is that product is going to be easy. The distribution and marketing is where it's going to get difficult because you're going to be in a very big world and everyone competing. Now, the thing is, you use AI to create the product. You use AI to market the product. You use AI along every step of the way in your business. So let's have a look at what I've done with guest chat so you can actually see. So, number one, we have a concept, guest chat. What is guest chat? Guest chat is an AI concierge for your hotel. A total no-brainer. You walk into a hotel, you scan a QR code on your phone, and it then all of a sudden gives you an interface, a chat interface, that you can ask questions about the hotel. Everything. The hotel can post the latest information up to the second. Don't go to the pool today because it's not working or whatever. Oh, don't swim at the beach because the waves are too big. Or we've got a special on whatever. Or you can say, when's Kids Club start? What time do I need to check out? What are the local attractions? I'm lost. How do I get to where I am? Can you show me a picture of your restaurant menu? No brainer, right? They control it easy. Here it is, right? Only 299 Australian dollars for setup and 149 per month. That's it. Easy, right? So here's a website. Okay, you don't need AI to create this website. Absolutely, here it is. But what I did is I used AI to help me with the marketing. So let's have a look at two of these examples that I've created here.
Sawadika. Please scan our guest chat app. It will answer all your questions about our hotel. I'm not sure. You can ask guest chat in any language and you will be answered in that language. You can ask about our food and drink packages or ask about our kids' activities. to see the menu and for photos of some of our dishes, even how spicy or not they may be. Guest Chat can show you photos of our resort and activities and give directions as well. There is no need to call reception if you are relaxing by our pool and have a question about our hotel. We hope you enjoy your stay with us and using Guest Chat on your phone to answer your questions. Our friendly staff are also always here to help. Thank you for choosing our hotel for your stay.
Okay, so I've used AI to create JD, which here's JD, the AI assistant, right? So we'll click New Chat. So the website has 1, AI we're using to do marketing. 2, someone comes here, how much does it cost and can you contact me, right? So contact forms are no longer needed because the AI assistant will answer the question, tell you to leave your data. That data is confidential. It comes through as an email to the site user. It basically, and it refers to what they're asking. So, it basically is a contact form in effect, right? One-time setup fee. We've got all the pricing there. Okay, then I've done another ad.
Contact us and we can create a guest chat AI assistant for your hotel. You don't need to do much. We take care of the setup for you. Hotel staff love guestchat.online. It really helps our guests find answers about the hotel 24/7. Guest chat's not just great for us, it's a lifesaver for guests, eh? Guests just scan this code. Guest chat is trained on all the hotel information and it's multilingual.
It's so easy.
Okay, so I created that of me. It's not an exact clone of me. It's just a representation which I created using Google and in Gemini. So I can't create it in Sora because it won't take my image and put it up, but it's something I can create fairly quickly to get the message across. Now, on the website, I've explained how it works, right? So how it works, I've got a series of other videos here that people can watch so they can understand what is actually going on and what's happening. So I'll just watch one of them now.
How good is guest chat? I don't speak the language, but I can ask on my own and get answers 24/7 about the hotel.
This hotel is great. Look, they have guest chat. I don't speak Thai, but I ask in Russian and it tells me everything, like cooking class, nature walks without any problem. Very easy, even for me.
I scanned guest chat at reception, and now it runs on my own phone. I don't need to ring reception for hotel info anymore.
Guest chat in Chinese. How cool!
With images and info about the resort.
I can ask in my main language and get instant answers.
No more lining up at reception anymore.
你看，可以用中文聊天页，还有图片和度假村信息。
直接问就能马上回答，不用再去前台排队了。
Guest chat at this hotel is great. I always get embarrassed with my bad English, and my kids miss out on hotel activities. Now I can ask in German.
This AI assistant is perfect for our family holiday.
I really want to know if they arrange day tours, but I cannot be bothered getting up to go to reception.
No problem. AI scanned guest chat for this hotel when I came in. Just ask guest chat.
Brilliant.
Здравствуйте, у меня вопрос.
I'm sorry, one moment. Here, let's scan this.
Oh, wow, I can use this on my phone and get all the answers about your hotel. This is the best.
Since we installed guest chat in our hotel, everything feels smoother. Guests love how easy it is to reach us, and our front of house team say it's like having an extra pair of hands. Both sides are very, very happy.
Thanks, PGC Smart Living, for creating our hotel guest chat. Since implementing guest chat, both the guests and our front of house staff are very, very happy with the results.
Okay, so we can see there I've used AI, I've actually used Sora to create a message that I need to get out there, right? So I can explain it all day long, but videos like that show exactly. The Russian guy walks up, he can't understand. The hotel owners are doing stuff. So we've got a website. You didn't need AI to do a website. I didn't use AI to create that website. I created the website. But the marketing material, all the videos, including one of me, right? Not my actual clone, but just a representation of me in Australia with my fictional JD representative in Thailand, if you know what I mean. Basically they're showing and getting the point across, right? So AI, I'm super productive. AI, I'm super productive. I've created a stream of videos here, all with different circumstances and different information about what the app does, right? Now, this is the important part, right? The important part is when you start to use AI and you've got a system like this, right? You will have the ability to actually work on the system. And I've shown this before in previous videos. So you can log in, you can just quite simply say, the pool is shut today, or, you know, the restaurant menu is here or whatever, right? This is where you control it from. So you start to learn how the AI works, and you start to open your mind as to what it can do, right? So that information there. We talk about getting better context for the agent. So there's images that you can put their description down so it works a lot better. This is 2 of our happy guests, you know, in kayaks at the back of the resort that you can gain access to by this. Now, this is our fishing kayak that's for hire or whatever, right? It's not just a man on a kayak, right? You need some human intervention to get the context of your imaging for your hotel right. The system has the ability to do that. And even reporting every single part of every conversation in your hotel for maintenance, for using for staff, it just goes on. But the point is, you start with a simple AI assistant. Now, that is looking at it from that point of view, right? I've got a showcase up here on the website of a whole stack of other different AI assistants. But if we take this one here at the top from Thai Life, right? So Thai Life are using an AI assistant, and they're actually, you can click on it on your phone to call the reception, or you can use Line, which in Thailand is very popular. It's got preset questions, the terms and conditions of your stay, which every hotel have to give you, usually on a folder in the room that no one ever reads, right? There it's there. You know, it's up to them when they read it. It's up to them when it's in the room. You've provided it, right? They can ask all sorts of questions. This is the interface. Very, very simple. You can send it out in your marketing. You can host it on your website, right? So this is the product. This is the homepage of the product. Here I go. Now, I need to market this product, right? Now, I've used AI to help me construct the imaging. I've used AI to help me do the layout and some of the wording, right? Didn't use AI for the web design. You don't necessarily need AI for that. I used AI to help me create these images as well. Now, marketing. This is where we start to talk about ClawdBot. This is where we start to talk about vibe coding, or whatever way you want to call it, right? You cannot spin up a tool, a marketing tool like this that is equivalent probably to MailChimp and all the rest of the stuff very simply. It does take. This took me 2 months of coding, a lot of time working with AI to get this product. But this product will enable me to simply enter the name of a hotel and their website. It will start to scrape the information from the hotel. I've already filled that out, and at the moment I have 1,915 verified hotels, right? Now, the process is, in this, you use AI, back up here, you use AI and you say, I am doing a research project of blah, right? And you get the AI to go and do a deep research. Then what happens, it'll come back with a whole stack. In this case, there was about 3,500 business names and URLs, right? Now, I used Comet because it's on my machine, it's a browser, and it had the ability to actually physically go in as the machine can and click on the website to gather the information. It doesn't need to do that because it can run code behind it and check. So I start off with a base of hotels or whatever the product is we're going to see, right? Then that list, AI, even the best AI, has a habit of making up. So let's say you were called Bill's Plumbing in Smith Street, right? It would just come back with billsplumbinginsmithstreet.com or .com.au if you're in Australia or wherever, right? So what you do then, you take all the domain names and you run them through another AI tool that simply goes and checks that they're real. So that straight away says, okay, I've got a hotel here, Bill's Hotel on the Beach. The web address was billshotelonthebeach.com because the AI has just decided that that's what it must be. Now, it's not. So then what you do is you go back and say, no, you made a mistake with these 100. I want you to go back and try again. And then that will cull the list down again. So basically, you then get a list that you start with. You then use the scraping tool, which is a very complicated scraping tool within the system. It goes through and it gathers all the information. It gathers the name, the address, the phone numbers, the line account, the Facebook links, the Instagram links. And it creates a summary of your business. It creates an introduction icebreaker if I were to contact your business, right? It's got everything you need, then gets put into a database for marketing. The next step is you actually start to send out emails to people. And actually, I will show you exactly, I'll give you an example here. So I can sort country Australia or Thailand. So we'll just, okay, what we'll do is we'll go to send, and we'll give an example here. Here's one I've already sent. I'm actually going to go to master, and I will put in Taiwan, THAILIFE. All right, so I am going to this business, I'm going to hit process. Now, it already has all the information on the business. It knows it's in Thailand, right? And it has a web address. So what it will do, it is now constructing the email based on all the information that we've gathered from their website, right? And it knows all about their product. So we can see here, what it's doing is, it's showing our website, then it's actually showing their business website. It's got a message in Thai, a welcoming message in Thai, and then in English. And because it's in Thailand, I've included the video of JD, who is based in Thailand, even though she's fictional because she's fully AI. And it says, hey, this is what we know about your business, right? So this email is marketed out. I can edit the email, I can change the email. If there was no email address, in this case there is, if there was no email address, I can link straight to their site, because some sites you can't get their emails. Then you go to Facebook, you grab their email. So you're gathering this information, all right? I will send this to myself, just as a matter of interest. And we will send that email off. And you will actually see that when the email goes, it tells me that it's sent. It'll arrive in the inbox. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's arrived in the inbox, and that's how it arrives, right? JD from Guest Chat in Thai and English, and away we go, right? Now, going back to here, let's do another one. Let's do one that's just in English, right? So it knows that it's in Australia. So we'll just go, where we are, that'll do, Wyndham Garden, process that. So this becomes your future marketing tool that you own, right? You actually can own this. If you want me to build you one, I can build you one, right? But basically, there's a lot of work that's gone into this, right? But this becomes your marketing tool. This can apply across the board. So here's a company in Australia. Okay, so we've got the message there. All right, excellent. Okay, so we can see that we can actually send out the emails. Yeah, so we'll go down here now and we'll do another one that is located in Australia. So REST Point is in Hobart. It's marked as being in Australia. We can hit process and we'll come up and you see it's just in English. Hello, my name is JD, you know, from what I can see at West Point, right? So it basically explains the message. It knows about their business. It's got a contact link and it's got the Australian video to be able to, you know, make it more friendly, right? So I can send that out. So the point I'm trying to make is using AI in your business. Every step of the way. Now, this is a very complicated AI program. It's using AI on many different levels, right? It's calling AI to answer the question. It's calling AI to gather that information. I am using and buying intelligence. That makes me super productive, right? And this is something that, okay, I hear you cry, oh, email cold marketing is not going to work. It's not about that. What it is, we started to build Sutherland Sally, Bondi Bronte, Phuket Ploy. There's a whole stack, Chiang Mai Mail, right? All these sites go through and they promote the local area, right? They're actually a great resource for people coming there because when we take the information, we put that information back up, we feed it straight back in. In a lot of cases, better than Google because we've gone to the website, we've got the AI to explain what the business do, then we put it into the knowledge base so the next person asks them knows information, right? But what you're doing is you're gathering the data from these businesses. So right now, today, you may not need it, but tomorrow you will. And here's a perfect example. Right now, if I had 1,977 businesses, I can't hit my automatic AI button and get my AI to start ringing those people, right? That is illegal and it's scamming, right? But what I can do, I can send them an email saying, hey, if you like, instead of being $299, if you sign up now, I can do it for $50 and someone will call you in a minute, right? Now, that's fine. As an individual, I could do that. I could send out 100 emails. I might get 40 people within 1 hour that decide to contact me back. Then I've got a backlog. Then I've got the next 40. Then I've got the next 40. And all the conversation is to say, hey, we're for real. This is what we do. Thanks for contacting us. We've got enough info. Is there anything else you need to know? The AI will just have the conversation. It can do 30 of them at once. It doesn't matter, right? So you're using AI in that. You're not using it now, but you're going to use it. There's another one, all right? So the AI then says, okay, I've now got this client. Out of these 100 clients I've ran, I've identified that 10 of those are really good clients. You should ring them. You should really ring them, personally ring them, right? Then you pass it off to the human. You don't expect the AI to close the sale, even though it won't take long, and they probably can, particularly if you train them well enough. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, let's say you then want to send out another email in 3 months, because some people didn't get it or whatever the case may be. What you can do then is you can say, okay, we know the address of your business. What we're going to do is we're going to do research and we're going to find out 3 of the nearest coffee shops. And we're going to actually say, hey, we were at Joe's coffee shop the other day and we saw your business. So we thought we'd drop you a line, right? Straight away, they're going to go, oh, you're at Joe's coffee shop. That's only across the road, right? So there's just 100 ways. It's not manipulating anything. It's just using the technology you've got. You want to get their attention. They may not be interested. That's fine, but it doesn't matter. All of these things that you gather become a resource for your business. And if you control the tool, right, then you control it. Now, this is no different to leasing Microsoft Word or whatever you want to do, right? It's a piece of software you lease and you use it, right? This will be, people will be coming up with these products. I've come up with this product. But the point I'm trying to make is, small businesses, when they understand what AI can do, and hopefully I've given the examples in this video, you start to then scaffold on that. Using ClawdBot as the example of hype, right? Okay, it is going to be, but the thing I like about it is it opens up the world and it starts to get people understanding how powerful these agentic workflows actually are, right? And Sam Altman literally saying, if you are in business, we implore you to learn more about AI, because if you don't, you just will not keep up with the productivity of others. So what I ascertain is I start from ground zero, I use AI, I buy intelligence, I've got a product to go to market. Stay tuned, we'll see how it actually goes. But thanks again for joining me. I hope my videos are useful to you. I am here if you need, contact me. There's plenty of contact details above, below. Click subscribe, all that stuff they say. And again, thanks for your time, and I shall see you in the next one.